Hello there, welcome to Talking Balearics with me, Martin Makepeace, in a very light Ibiza, Rich, because it's summer, isn't it? It's the clocks have gone forward, or have they gone back? I can't remember. They've gone forward. No, they've gone back, haven't they? So
Go forward, mate.
is it forward? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we lost her now, didn't we? So nice and light, and summer is in the air, Rich, in Ibiza.
Summer is in there. Although I say that, Mark, over the weekend we had snow.
Did you really?
It's part of one of my subjects actually today.
Okay, wow, snow. I
Yeah.
didn't see that. No, we very rarely get snow here, but we're not as high as you, are we?
Well, I don't know. There's some places you definitely are in Ibiza.
Well,
Started as he means
start
to go
early. Rich, I've got some bad news, mate. I've got man flu for Easter. Can you believe it?
on. Oh,
Yeah, I'm thinking
Well-
about calling an ambulance. I'm that bad.
actually, Mark, I think there's actually something I want to sort of talk to you about.
Really?
You know, this
Sounds a bit.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
sounds like my dad. You know.
Well, I don't know
Well-
if I don't know where. Obviously, there's this new fad going around that you produce these images of yourself or your friends or your family or whatever that you can post. You know, like a caricature is probably what I'm trying to say of yourself or your friends or whatever you do. So you've managed to produce one for our podcast, I see.
Yeah. Well, I was just messing about over the weekend, so I thought, just a little bit of fun.
Yeah, funny how you look like you just come out of a boy band, and I look like I've been in a pie shop for the last 3 weeks, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Don't blame me, mate. Blame.
I'm just saying, mate.
GPT, Rich.
Do you know what I mean?
Listen, he can only work with what he's got, Rich. You know, that's
Whatever,
what I'm
mate.
thinking.
Whatever.
I did think
Yeah,
actually when I
yeah.
saw it today, I thought you look like you've been on the pies for a while, haven't you?
I know. Listen, I probably have, but not that much, surely, friend.
So our Easter special, Rich, of Talking Balearics, what have you got for me this week?
Well, Brit said to book flights before April 1st, so you haven't got a lot of time, to be perfectly honest.
Wow.
But that's quite important. Snow in Mallorca, just before Easter. That's great, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Great.
Blimey. I thought we'd have a little bit of fun, you and I, talking about the traditions of Easter, because, well, I say traditions. I mean, they're not really what this is nothing to do with Christianity or anything like that. Don't worry too much. Do you know what I mean? I just a couple of things that are traditional things that we would do normally at Easter. So
you're getting religious on me, Rich.
no, not at all. No,
you're praying to the God of Mikel Arteta, aren't you? I see that these days.
At the moment, yes.
Yeah.
And lastly, I've also got a bit of sport in Mallorca. Obviously, there's no football at the moment, but
God, yeah.
I've got a sport other than football in Mallorca for you. There you go.
I did see your blog at the weekend, so so we'll go into that. Yeah. Okay, Richie, I've got 3 things for us as always. I've got an interesting subject. One of our senators stood up in their house the other day, and the senator, if you didn't know, in Spain is very similar to the House of Lords. The Senate is the house where the laws go up to be ratified. He made a very impassioned speech. I actually know the guy as well, so it's an interesting one, and it was about luxury tourism, Rich. So something we come on to all the time, isn't it? Secondly, it's silly season, housing crisis debate yet again. I've been going through the adverts, and there's some real eye-watering ones there, Rich. So just to give you an idea of what's happening in Ibiza this time of year. And thirdly, something we spoke about a few weeks ago. Leo, remember that in Mallorca, in Palma? We spoke about that, didn't we? This has kind of slipped through the cracks, this one, Rich, because it's been reported a few weeks ago, and I've been meaning to actually bring it up. I've got a Lío Ibiza story because things aren't all rosy in the house there as well. And,
I saw that.
And finally, I saw a very interesting thing on Instagram a few days ago about an unwanted visitor in your waters, which I'll talk about.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Which is quite, and I'm not talking about Richie Pryor swimming 5 lengths around on the coast. So I want to talk about that. But first of all, Rich, let's come to you. Kick me off with your first item, please.
Well, this comes as a message, really, from Steve Heapy. Both of us know who Steve Heapy is. He's the main man at Jet2, of course, who's built Jet2 to become a tour de force in the tour operating world and flight world as well. But if you're planning to visit anywhere, basically Spain this year, or particularly Mallorca, air passenger duty, which is known as APD, I think is you call it, It goes up on April the 1st.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so basically, the government is about to hike air passenger duty, which will add increases in airfares about 32 quid if you're heading to Mallorca, for instance.
Okay,
so it's quite. If you remember, Heapy came out and says to the government, please don't make tour operating or the travel industry, a place where you think you can hike taxes because you need to save money somewhere, and they obviously did. So that was it, basically.
Okay, yeah. I mean, they're becoming. I mean, Steve Heapy, the MD of Jet2 Holidays. I mean, they're becoming probably the most important player in the British market, aren't they? I suppose in any market as well. I think they are now, aren't they? So,
well, from a tour operating point of view, they are the largest, and then from an airline point of view, I think they're the third largest airline in the UK now. Very, very important. And Steve, listen, I bet Stephen, and I think you probably have as well, on quite a few occasions, and he's a straight talking Yorkshireman, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a very plain talking. He's like the Jet2 version of Michael O'Leary, but he's got a bit more charm than Michael O'Leary.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. And he's a tour operator by trade, and that's what he does. He's a bums on seats man, isn't he? I think he was Air Tours back in the day, wasn't he?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, Rich, I think we're going to have a good summer, and I know that's famous last words because you don't know what's around the corner, especially the way the world is at the moment. But I just get that sense. I've seen that bookings have gone up. Villa bookings have gone up in the last few weeks. I think it's a case of get Easter out of the way. I know that might not be good news for the APD, but get Easter out of the way. I think people are really focused on Easter, and then they'll look to the summer. So I think it will be when I say a good summer, Rich, I think it will be okay. I don't think we're going to break any post-COVID records like we did before, but I think it will be okay. So let's watch this space. So always interesting. I think when Heapy speaks, he's almost like the Balearic version of the Bank of England governor, isn't he? When he speaks, we all kind of sit up and take note, don't we?
I agree. We got Mark.
Yeah. So my first segment this week, Rich, luxury tourism. Now, Ferrer, Juan Jose. Yeah, no, sorry. Juan Jose. Yeah. It's a bit of a dodgy one, this is, mate, because
you might want to take that bit out, Mark.
Yeah, no, because it's a funny one because Juan Jose in Spanish is Juanjo, yeah? So it's Juanjo. So when we say Juanjo. So Juanjo Ferrer, I know, sounds strange, but it is what it is. He's a senator. He represents Ibiza and Formentera. He's PSOE, so he's left-leaning. I know Juanjo very well. We've worked together. He's a lawyer. I've done some property deals with him in the past, but he gave a very impassioned speech in the House the other day, as I say, the Senate, which is very similar to the UK's House of Lords. Quite straightforward. There's a 30,000 housing deficit for the Balearic Islands. It's as simple as that. And he got together with a guy from La Gomera, which is quite interesting because you've got the small islands kind of ganging up, haven't you? So I agree with him on one part, Rich, because he said, listen, there's 30,000 deficit on homes. Rising rents, limited land supply, strict planning rules, demand from second home buyers, and the seasonal tourism workers that need accommodation. So that there is real challenges there. What I actually don't agree with him, and this is where fundamentally I always disagree with the PSOE, is that he's kind of pointing the finger at luxury tourism and saying, he's basically said luxury tourism will be the end of Ibiza. Well, I don't agree with that because luxury tourism is less people spending more money, whereas mass tourism is more people spending less money, okay, which is what we had for years. So I kind of get it. There is a consensus there. We need to increase the housing supply. We need faster planning approval. We do need public and protected housing. And the big one, which I think he brought up, which is something that me and you have always mentioned on this podcast, is that we try and get vacant houses or vacant locales, which are vacant shops, onto the market, because as we've identified in Magaluf, in San Antonio, in all these places, in the Balearics, if you go second and third line, there's just a load of vacant places there, isn't there? Especially the shops that used to be busy but now aren't open. So we have to find a way to utilize this space because we've only got limited space on the island. So I agree with him on some things, Juan Jose Ferrer. I think PSOE do like to have a go at luxury tourism. PSOE, they're the left-leaning, similar to the Labour Party in the UK, always have a chip of luxury tourism, but I don't think they're the devil at this moment, Rich. I think the devil is in the way that the planning and the way that the Balearic authorities are facing up to the crisis. And as I said last week, I think I wrote about it 7 years ago, and things haven't really changed in that 7 years. So we knew it was coming. So as we know over here in Spain and the Balearics, the wheels move very slowly, don't they? So, but we are almost reaching, crisis point now. The tipping point is nearly there. When I talk about my second segment, you'll see what the outcome is.
Well, I just have something to add to that, Mark,
Yep.
because councillors in Llucmajor need to be applauded because Llucmajor Town Hall will buy its old cinema in the town's historic centre to convert it into social housing to prevent it being turned into luxury housing. A council meeting unanimously approved the proposal to acquire the cinema, which was built in 1938. It came from believe it or not, it came from the political party MES, who we know are well known for their political views. And differences were all set aside, as in party differences. And a spokesman for Vox congratulated the party, saying the building is a place of soul that has been part of the lives of generations of Llucmajor residents, and developers could build up to 15 high-end luxury homes there, but the town hall doesn't need any, or the town itself doesn't need any more luxury places, and it will be a centre for basically social housing. I applaud them.
Yeah, I mean, that's really good news, Rich. And I think the councils of the Balearic Islands are going to have to be brave here, because they can't rely on the market, because the market, as we know, is getting out of control, which, the market decides what the market decides. So they have to take control here. They have to get in front of the discussion. They have to buy plots of land. I remember a few weeks ago I said that San Antonio just okayed some social housing near to me, actually, just not very far, maybe a kilometre away from me. So it's good news, but it's a good debate. I don't agree with the luxury tourism debate, but I do agree that we just have to get in front of this argument and make things happen.
Now, meteorologist Albert Darder, who is stationed on the Puig Mayor, which is the highest point of Mallorca, has reported the most significant March snowfall for the last 13 years. Obviously, we're nearly in Easter, near the end of April, and there's been a fair amount of snow in the Tramontana Mountains, and it fell at 800 feet, or as low as 800 feet, with a possible a splattering coming down to 700 meters, which could be quite interesting. There was pictures across Instagram on Sunday about snow and everything else. And it has been, well, it was a very cold weekend. If you're out and about on, not too bad on Saturday, but Sunday, it was freezing on Sunday.
Well, I played cricket Friday, Saturday. It was quite nice. And then Sunday, it went really cold, didn't it? So, I mean, what's mad, Rich? We've had the most crazy winter, haven't we, in the Balearics? I mean, I've never known weather like it. There's been torrential storms.
It's been the wettest, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, which is good. I know people will just be scratching their heads, but the wells are full, aren't they? Which is, for and years, the reservoirs and the wells are full. For years, we've been panicking about that. I remember a time not so long ago when the 5 wells in Ibiza, they were almost empty, and it was almost the elephant in the room. So the wells are full. It's just been really strange, but as I said, it was warm. I think you said to me last week, we've got a storm coming. It's not quite happened in Ibiza, but it's gone very cold. Easter, I think we should be okay for Easter, Rich. So,
good.
Talking about the luxury tourism and the housing problem, I did a little thing over last weekend, just looking through the adverts for accommodation, because I'm getting at least, 2-3 messages a day from people looking for apartments. I used to do it, Rich. Back in the day, my company, we had over 200 apartments in San Antonio that we used to rent out. Now we've got 0, and I don't get involved because there's just no business there anymore. They're too expensive and there's no profit there. So, the market has gone in a different direction, but I still get messages. So this one caught my eye, and I think it was reported in the paper as well. Well, this one was, so this is a triple room in Ibiza town from April to October. So that's a double bed, a single bed with a nearby bathroom and a terrace. Okay.
When you say nearby bathroom, are you talking in the same building or down the road?
I'm presuming so, Rich, but I suppose presumption is the mother of all whats, isn't it? So,
yeah.
So how much you reckon it's on the market for? It's a triple room, by the way, and this is in a shared accommodation. So this is a triple room I think it was a 3-bedroom apartment. So how much you thinking, Rich?
1,000 a month.
2,100 for the room.
Ooh.
I know, yeah. So we're talking €700 per person for a room. Okay, so we're hitting new ground here. And although I think this is a one-off, I think there are cheaper out there and you just have to get out and about. And this is probably just a bit of a punt by somebody. It's worth mentioning that the Spanish minimum salary is €1,225 per month. If you are paying €700 for a room, you're paying well over 50% of your salary, not for a room, for a bed, aren't you? We are getting to silly season. What I would say to those people out there who are looking, look at your Facebook groups. I always think it's better to come over and look when you're over here, because put your ear to the ground. It's the locals that rent them. See, us agents, we don't get accommodation anymore, Rich, because if you mention in a bar, for instance, if you went to a bar and say, oh, I've got an apartment for rent, I guarantee within about 3 hours, you'll get 20 people ring you, because, Jose will tell Juan will tell Miguel, and before you know it, word goes around. It's a really tough time to get accommodation. A friend of mine who works in my local bar, Sibo, he's trying to find somewhere else, and it's just impossible. He's been here for 15 years. So that is the state of the market now. Ibiza has always been expensive, Rich. We know that, but rents are now pretty much unsustainable.
Sport, Mark, because obviously there's no football this weekend.
I know it was a tough weekend without the footy, mate, wasn't it?
Oh dear.
God.
But I did blog about. Obviously, we talked last week about England are going to be, or the Lionesses are going to be playing Spain in June. Tickets still haven't got on sale. I'll let you know as soon as I know the tickets do go on sale. It normally comes through the Spanish Federation, the RFEF. But other sporting things to mention: the Mallorca Tennis Championships, which is a pre-Wimbledon tournament happening in June. Takes place at the Mallorca Country Club. Nick Kyrgios has been mentioned as a name that's going to appear at this year's championship, which could be quite interesting.
Well, he brings the drama, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
I like him. I've got to say, I like him. He really.
Yeah, he did talk sport last year on Wimbledon. Yeah. He was very good, actually.
Very good.
So I'm hoping that is a definite, because he did say he was coming last year. And he didn't actually make it. I think the talk sport bookie probably paid him more money. There's also the Road to Mallorca, which is the end of season golf tournament, which gives 20 places on the DP World Tour. If you're not up to date in your golf, the DP World Tour is the sort of the European tour of golf. Does take in other countries, but mainly Europe. Then obviously you've got Live Golf, and then you've got the American side as well. But this takes place at Alcanada Golf Club towards the end of the year. I last night was announcing fighters in the MMA quad. What do they call it? The Octagon.
The Octagon. I saw that, Rich. Tell me a bit more about that. How did that come about then?
Well, it was a friend of mine who asked me. He had an event last year, and I couldn't do it because he asked me to do it last year. I couldn't do it because my son had a game, and I didn't want to miss a game. You know what it's like, Mark. You don't like missing games at the best of times when your sons are playing. So I couldn't do it. And then a few weeks ago, he asked me, could I do this one? And I said, yeah, I'd love to. So it was a good, quick, steep learning curve for me, of course, because I have done a boxing event before, a couple of boxing events, but MMA never sort of been anywhere close. My word, it's rough up there, Mark.
I saw a bit of the footage, Rich. I mean, it's brutal, isn't it? Really. Oh. And Rich, I would just say, I think you've got a great voice for that as well, mate. I mean, as long as I don't have to look at you. It's fine, mate. It's as simple as that.
I hid behind the Octagon. Actually, it was quite good. It's quite good because the rings
brutal,
are coming.
Isn't it? Did you hear the punches? Yeah. Did you hear the punches coming in and everything?
Yeah, I was really close because I had to stay close to the judges in order to obviously to pick up the result. Whether one poor fella got knocked out within 25 seconds. It was brutal, some of it. So yeah, not a sport. I tip my hat to those guys who take that as a sport, because the majority of them are amateurs as well. So not actually getting paid to do it either.
Was it Spanish? Was it locals? British? Who was fighting?
Yeah, it was a mixture. It was and German as well. Actually, there was 11 fights in all. A mixture of, say, German, Spanish, and English as well. Good audience. I think it was over 500 there. So it was at the Pirates Theatre in Magaluf. And I think there's going to be another one in June and another one in October. So, yeah, I loved it. I had a great time. It was something completely different.
It looked very good, mate. When I saw it online, it looked really, really good. That's great. Well, I'm just going to go. Oh, yeah, I'll finish on this one, mate. Leo. I mean,
oh yes.
Can you remember when we spoke about Leo a few weeks ago? I think you said that they put it into administration, or they'd laid a load of stuff on Leo.
Mallorca's closed. Yeah.
Is it closed? That's it. Is it done?
It's done. Yeah.
Right. Okay. It wasn't opening. It was in the old Tito's, wasn't it? Which is an iconic building on Palma seafront, isn't it? I mean, that's gone.
Yeah.
Now, Leo in Ibiza, probably the most iconic venue that Ibiza has come up with over the last 25 years. It was in the Marina Ibiza, which
that's right. I've been
for the yeah. Have you? Well, you wouldn't have been paying. You must have been invited.
I don't. Yes, I was. Yes,
yeah,
I must be honest. I don't remember too much about it. But I was there apparently.
Can't see you lording up at those prices, Rich. With the greatest respect.
No.
But so Lío Ibiza, I mean, it really was an iconic venue, and I was talking to my friends about it last week, and the most amazing thing about it was the backdrop was Dalt Villa. Okay, so. The show was very good. Service was excellent. The prices eye-watering, but the backdrop, it was just a real world plus backdrop with the Dolt Villa. Now, what's happened? Marina Ibiza, they own the freehold on the building. They've basically kicked Leo out, so they've kicked them out. So they are no more. And this was reported in the press, but not many people have picked up on it. So what they've done, they've relocated up the road to a place called Hotel El Corso. Bit of an interesting story, Rich, because El Corso, again, it has that world famous backdrop. And I think this is the most important thing. They've got to have that backdrop. If they haven't got that backdrop, they've got nothing. Now, the plans have gone in. El Corso is now upgrading from a 4-star to 5-star. It's been acquired by Blason Property Investments. It's going to go to Uber super luxury, and Leo will operate at the pool level, which is interesting. So at the hotel, the pool level will be operated by Leo, and they're going to completely redesign the area, and it's expected to open next year. So we're talking about 2027. But the problem is, Rich, there's only one road in and one road out, and they're saying that basically the capacity is going to be 500 people per night, plus staff, plus performers, plus suppliers. And the local residents, there's only 15 of the local residents that have put up a fight. And this is just a good example that if you're motivated, you get mobile on this, then you can stop it. And the 15 neighbours have put a bit of a spanner in the works. They're saying, listen, there's not enough space there. They're going to increase the size of the hotel under COVID legislation, which remember, if you can remember, but under COVID legislation, they brought in a law saying that you could increase a hotel size by 15%. Okay, so the local neighbours aren't having any of it. So I think they will find a solution. Maybe a brown envelope through the letterbox is often a solution around these parts, isn't it, Rich? So
I wouldn't know.
Oh well, of course not. Of course,
no.
Being a tour operator for that many years, we don't know about these things.
No.
So it's an interesting happening. So Leo this year is not going to be open. What I would just say is Corso used to house STK. So that was another similar type of cabaret bar. They obviously couldn't make it pay the high overhead. So Leo going into that building, but there's a kickoff from neighbours. So maybe, just maybe, it might not happen. But I think this one's got legs, and we'll have to keep an eye on it in the future, because Leo really did become synonymous with Ibiza, because it ushered in a new era of cabaret bars. Prices I've never been to a place like it in my life, Rich. You're paying, I think, Pabs, my business partner, I think he paid €52 for a gin and tonic in there. So I mean, it's pretty impressive, isn't it? I mean, you're not known for buying your rounds anyway, Rich, but you're definitely not buying a round in there, are you?
Let's finish on Easter.
Yes, let's do that.
We are just about to get into the bits of Easter.
Certainly, and we'll just say as well, it's the biggest holiday of the year, isn't it? Really,
pretty much.
It's got to be, hasn't it? Got to be.
Yeah, but obviously, being ourselves, we're not talking too much about Christianity and religion and stuff like that. A couple of questions I needed to ask you. Hot cross buns, are you a fan?
I am, yes. I love the hot cross bun. Hot one with butter in as well. I do like that, mate. Yeah, very, very nice.
Well, Mark, I've got a bit of a take on a hot cross bun. I've got 2 takes on a hot cross bun for you.
Go on.
So you're right, yes, a hot cross bun should be toasted and lots of salted butter. It has to be salted butter.
Yeah. Well, good shout.
But did you know that you're actually cooking it wrong?
I didn't know.
I take it what you do is you just slice it in half, right? Put it in a toaster.
Yeah, so what I do is slice it in half.
Yeah.
Put it in a toaster. I don't do dairy, so I'll have kind of vegan butter, put that in, and it will drop in there, and it'll be beautiful. Yeah, very, very
right, Mark. So what you should do is you take your hot cross bun and slice it into 3.
3?
Yeah.
Says who?
Listen, there's been believe me, there's been a university onto this. So basically, you get more hot cross bun, you get more butter for your buck. So basically, you're taking your hot cross bun, you're slicing it into 3 parts rather than just a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is this a Mary Berry thing?
No. This came from, I can't remember the university.
Okay.
It was something that we touched on the radio last week, I remember. So yeah, that's the way to do it. But also, this is a game changer for hot cross buns, Mark. Game changer. Hot cross buns with bacon.
What? No, Rich. They're sweet. You've got to have it with jam. You've got to have it with marmalade.
I urge you, this Easter, do yourself a favour, get yourself some bacon and put it in a hot cross bun.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
It's a game changer.
Fluffy little hot cross bun and some. Would you put brown sauce or red sauce?
No. Sauce is not needed. Sauce is not needed.
Okay. Interesting.
It's your yin and your yang, Mark. That's basically what it is,
So
sweet and sour.
So this Good Friday, I expect you to, and I'll post a picture of me with a hot cross bun on Friday. Yeah, and Good Friday, which is a traditional day to eat hot cross. Are you going to do it on the radio, I hope, Rich?
I am doing it on the radio.
Yes.
I'm hoping one of our listeners who does bake a very good bacon sandwich, I'll give him a shout out. His name's Mark Racine. Me bacon sandwich, he brings them in sometimes to the studio for us. Wow. This week has promised us hot cross buns with bacon.
Okay, game changer, mate. Have you got any culture there? Or is it just hot cross bun?
No, no culture. The other thing I wanted to mention was, it's Easter, obviously we all love an Easter egg. Your favourite Easter egg, Mark, your go-to Easter egg?
Unfortunately, I don't eat chocolate, Rich. So,
oh, really?
I don't do chocolates. I know, but I know. But when I was a kid, I used to love Cadbury's cream eggs. I've got to tell you, I used to love them. I mean, I love them. But unfortunately, they have an effect on me, which isn't very good. But I don't eat chocolate. But I'm very happy to give chocolate out, but not to receive it, Rich. So
it has to be for me. It's got to be the chocolate buns. I'm an easy.
Yeah. Oh, I remember those. They melt in your mouth as well, don't they? God.
Yeah. And then also, I think, funny enough, I think this week we're going to also, as part of the Easter celebration, it's got nothing to do with the religion on the radio, is that we're going to how you eat your Cadbury's cream egg. Yeah. Have you seen how small these things are?
They're tiny. It's unbelievable. When I was a kid, I used to think they were about the size of my hand, but now the size of my finger, aren't they? So
exactly.
No, the funny thing is, Rich, most of my family worked at Cadbury's when I was a kid. So in Bourneville, so we used to get not freebies, but we used to get cheap chocolate. So I was brought up on chocolate, which is great. Obviously, no wonder I was so ill when I was young, because I suddenly found out they didn't agree with me.
Exactly.
Brilliant. It killed me off. But so I remember getting this big box of Cadbury cream. I think there was 36 in there, right? And we would probably have 5 or 6 there when we were just
no wonder you can't eat them now.
No, I know, too much when I was a kid, Rich. No, but listen, happy Easter to everybody. So
happy Easter, everybody.
I think it's fair to say me and you aren't the most religious of people, Rich, are we? So
we're not. But no problem with people that are.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a good excuse to get away. And I think, as I said to you before, it's the main Spanish holiday, because Spain don't really do Christmas very well, do they? Really? So as in going away.
I know what you mean.
They only get 1 day off, whereas Easter they get 4 days off. Just 2 items before we go, Rich, very quickly. First of all, as you saw, I've started up our own Instagram page due to popular demand, which has gone round really well. So talking.balearics.pod. So if you're not on it, get on it as well. So I'm posting all the videos and stuff on there. And the good news is, Rich, we've had 10. I mean, I suppose not a lot for some people, but we've had 10,000 views in 5 days. So that's not bad.
Fantastic.
It's not bad, is it? So so if you viewed it and you followed us, great. And secondly, Rich, what was that in the sea I saw off the coast of Mallorca this week?
I know, Mark. What was it? That's the shark you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't even want to mention the word, Rich, because I'm absolutely petrified. I mean, thank you, Jaws, for a whole generation. You're petrified of sharks. But yeah, there was a big shark in the water in Mallorca, wasn't there?
Huge. It made the news and everything. Unusual for a shark that large to be basically be in the Balearic waters, but there it was. I think it was there was some sort of a regatta going on.
There was. Yeah, did you not see the sailing boats there with the kids on it, and then the sharks? How the guys who filmed it kept cool, I'll never know, because I'd have freaked totally. So it's important to say that the shark's not dangerous, and it was just swimming around. You very rarely get sharks in Balearic waters, but that was a big one, wasn't it?
It was, and it's not something you'd like to lump into.
No.
To be perfectly honest.
Well, having just come back from Australia, Rich, I'm quite well versed in sharks in the sea. But it was good. But it's still safe to swim, children. So don't worry about that. But if you do see a shark, swim in the other direction. There you go.
Great, thanks, Mark.
Yeah,
we'll leave it on that there, shall we?
Great to leave it. Happy Easter, Rich. Have a good one. Have a good weekend.
Take care, Mark.
And I'll speak to you next week.
All right, see you soon.
Bye, mate.
Take care.
Make me dance.